So we looked at schools within the University of Pittsburgh, several of which, in fact, most of which, offered some programs online. And we looked at other peer business schools across the country. I made a series of calls to my counterpart, associate deans at other schools that had successful online programs to figure out what they did. Our objective then was not just to make up lost ground, but to actually do things right so that we would have a quality program that would be among the best in class. So with those objectives, we contacted several potential vendors. Most of the early vendors we spoke with espoused the revenue share model. Idea was very simple, as Paxton explained. The thinking here was that you leave it to us, and we will manage this from soup to nuts. And all that we will take from you is, a significant share of the tuition revenues that are generated. Now, if you think about this, the problem is that you as a school, really lose control, or you cede control to your vendor. The vendor has his interests in mind, and that's fairly obvious. I would too if I were a vendor. But their focus really is on revenue maximization over the 10 years. And again, I wouldn't look at that any differently. Now, clearly, any school is interested in revenues. But if you think about it from our perspective, among our concerns were, and quite apart from sharing any part of the revenue that we clearly wanted to keep for ourselves, so that we could reinvest in other activities within the school, we looked at the Katz brand and the Katz promise to the market really holistically. The professional MBA program is one piece of this. The moment you cede control, the interest of the vendor would be to find some kind of branding that would be appropriate to that program alone, rather than recognizing that that program was part of a much larger portfolio. Keeping all of that in mind, we figured that we really needed to make sure that we had buy-in through a natural, systematic, organic approach that would generate, as best we could, something approaching a consensus. So, and when you have a fairly diverse group of stakeholders, achieving consensus is a little bit like herding cats. But I think we have done reasonably, we've achieved that with reasonable success. Keep our fingers crossed, we still have some way to go. So the focus, again, was on a customized approach that recognizes what's unique to our needs and that allows us to remain firmly in control and move forward at a pace that we are comfortable with, that ensures that quality is not compromised along the process. That's where we met among the various vendors we spoke with, iDesign. And to be perfectly honest with you, Paxton and his crew from iDesign were like a breath of fresh air. As far as everyone on the task force was concerned, and on this one there was absolute consensus, they were like a breath of fresh air. They got it. They saw why it was important to recognize the concerns of the faculty. They also recognized that large, highly ranked programs like ours at schools like ours would also have a lot of the infrastructure in-house. And we felt that we didn't need help with marketing or recruiting students. We wanted to be in control, and quality was not just about the quality of the courses that were developed, it was about quality of the students. And so we wanted to keep all of that control sort of with us in-house.